hello, hey, hello, 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 hey, hello, 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 hey, hello, 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 hey, hello, hello.
Hello, folks. I am the lady,
And I am the master.
and you guys are getting all the tea with us on beauty. So today we're going to be talking about some things that we as artists get all the time is basically how to know what's the right foundation for me, for my skin type, and also how to make it work and last throughout the day and what's an affordable one. Exactly. So, Mr. Munze here, give us a little background about each one of us, so in case you guys don't know about who we are. Munze.
Okay, so as you know, my name is Munze. I am a freelance makeup artist and a cosmetologist and some other stuff. But yes, I've been doing hair for about 3 or 4 years. Professionally, I've been doing hair since I was 18. But I got my license. My 3-year anniversary just passed by, my license anniversary. And I've been doing makeup since then. So, I've done it for a couple of years now, and I really enjoy it. I do a lot of people's faces, people you may know, people you may not. And then the main person that kind of inspired me to do makeup is actually the lady. So yeah, she was one of those main people that was like, you need to do makeup. I was like, okay. So I'm gonna let her tell you a little bit about herself and how great she is.
Well, you guys, my name is actually Ariel Lathan, but I go by Lady Painted MUAs, all my hashtags and all that stuff like that. I've actually been a freelance makeup artist now for about 2019 makes 10 years. So I have started when I was 19 doing makeup. One of my actual good friends that was also a hairstylist got me into it. And I debuted as actually doing other people working with fashion shows and stuff like that in 2013. And so here we are now. The two of us actually met in beauty school. We went to a local school here. We are actually from Shreveport, Louisiana, where we are filming now. What's it at? And we actually met at Guys Academy, which is a local prestigious beauty school that we have in our city. It's actually one of the best in the state of Louisiana.
Miss Birch.
Hey, shout out to you guys at Guys Academy. Much love. But the thing is, we came together because a lot of times people are always asking one of us or together different questions about products, their skin type, because I did aesthetics and he did cosmetology. And so we kind of want to merge our minds together and bring you guys all the hot tea, giving about beauty, all the stuff that guys we want to talk about, because he's also the expert with hair. That ain't my forte, so I can't help you. So that's the reason why we have the lady and the master.
And people have been asking us for so long. The top question we always get, when are we going to do work together? That is the top question we have always gotten.
And we always be like,
Well, we're together now. So
exactly.
We're going to bring y'all all this good stuff that you need to feed your mind, your soul, and your face.
That part. So we actually have a couple of products laid out here now. Some of them are a little bit with a higher price mark and some of them with a little bit of a lower price mark. So pretty much in general, the key combination thing that people run into that I see a lot of times, they don't know their skin type. And the reason why that is so beneficial, especially for you to have long-lasting makeup and also having the right makeup that fits for you, is if you don't know your skin type, then exactly. You don't know what products that you need to buy, and you can essentially be wasting money.
Exactly.
And that's where we come in. So we have this here today to actually give you guys an idea of what are the right products and also ways to know what your skin type is.
So yeah, she pretty much said all the good stuff. She's the smart one, y'all. I'm just a tall one. But yeah, so as she was saying, she touched on a lot of things. You can essentially be wasting your money when you're out here. You don't know your shade for exactly, you don't know your undertone, you don't know whether you have oily skin, combination skin, dry skin. So just because a certain foundation is popular and everyone else is using it, it may not work for you. Yes, Fenty is really popular, but this Fenty here is a matte foundation. Now, if you have dry skin, that's not what you need to do, because that's just going to make you even more dry. You can risk going on throughout the day, your foundation cracking, because in that day, if it's a matte foundation, you have dry skin, where's your moisture coming in? Yes, you can always moisturize and prime, but that's only going to do so much. You have to have the correct foundation formula to get you through your day. So if you have dry skin, your best bet is to get a hydrating foundation. That's going to be the best thing for you, as well as a good primer, a good skincare routine, first and foremost. That's, before you even get into makeup, that should be the first thing that you do. Make sure your skincare regimen is intact. but accompany that with a good primer, good moisturizer, and then with a good hydrating foundation, then that is when you'll get into those long-lasting hours of wear for your foundation.
Exactly. Now, both of these foundations are actually the exact same shade. These are actually my foundations. And I know some people are like, well, why did you buy both of them? Well, as being an artist, I love to actually try different products to see what works best. And also on top of that, just to get an experience of how different products work. That's how you kind of stay in the know and also kind of stay up on things. So when clients ask you certain things, or even if you want to be that beauty guru that your friends can relate to.
Right.
So with this foundation here, both of them actually have qualities that I really enjoy and love, because what people fail to realize, your skin actually changes throughout the year.
Exactly.
So you actually have a time in the year where you're actually, especially if you have oily skin, you're actually going to produce a lot more oil, typically starting within the spring and going throughout the summer. Then when you actually have that transition, when you're going through fall and going into the winter, the skin can actually become a little bit drier. So sometimes a more hydrating foundation is going to be more appropriate. Now, those people that are actually suffering from dry skin, typically they're going to want to use a hydrating foundation year round, because typically if you already have drier skin, it's actually going to probably get a lot worse during the winter than it is going to be in the summer.
Exactly.
One thing is, I actually worked for Ulta for a little while, and I actually was one of their makeup artists, and they're actually beauty salespeople, and I used to teach people and educate them on their skin. Now, here's the thing that people have a misconception. Normally, they go off the outside areas of the face. This is the perimeter area here that I'm going to use Monday to demonstrate. If you actually focus on your T-zone, which is going down, it literally makes a cross across. So that's actually going from the forehead down to the nose into the chin, and then going from cheek to cheek here. If you focus on that area, that is actually your prone area of what your skin type is. So if you have any type of peeling, flaking, or anything in this area here of the skin, you're probably going to be more likely dry. And if you have a little bit of oiliness on the outside, with that including, you're going to be combination. There is a thing where you can have combination skin, and you're going to have to do things to combat the entire issue. And that's when your skincare regimen is so vital. So one thing I recommend for a lot of people that I've noticed that have oilier skin, this is actually a trick that I've learned from a fellow YouTuber that I love, is Jackie Aina. Sorry, we just had to do that. Because shout out to Jackie Aina, we both love her so much. She is such an awesome lady. But something that I did realize as well, a lot of times people will use mattifying products and you're oily. The problem is your body is thinking that, okay, hey, I don't have any oil, so let me produce oil.
Exactly.
So something that I've actually learned in the trick is actually using oil-based primers or hydrating primers for my skin to make sure that my skin has that moisture, so my skin won't produce more oil. If it produces more oil, that makeup is just gonna slide like a slip and slide. It's not staying. And that's the trick that I've learned to combat it. A lot of times you have a lot of mattifying primers, stuff that's actually trying to take out your oil. That's actually going to cause you to become more oily. So you actually want to combat oil, technically actually with oil, so your skin balances out.
Because if your skin senses that oil, it won't produce any more oil. So that's why you combat it oil with oil. Because if you already have it on there, your skin is going to be like, well, hey, it's already there, so I don't need to make any more.
Exactly.
And another trick I realized, one of my clients who's she's very oily. She's very oily. So one thing I did with her, she has the Fenty foundation. So what I did with her, it's a little trick. You color corrected with her concealers and things like that. I went ahead and set her face with a powder before the foundation. I set her full face with powder to combat that oil before it even gets to the foundation. And it lasted all day. She didn't have any slip-ups. It lasted because it was a photo shoot we were doing. So she didn't have any shyness or anything like that. So that's another trick you can do. If you have oily skin, go ahead and do your color correction if you need to color correct. So a lot of people don't need to. So before you place your foundation on, go ahead and set with a good setting powder. And then put your foundation on, then run on with your beat.
And I know the question that a lot of you guys are going to be like, is that going to make it cakey? It actually does not. If you actually use a powder that is actually close to your skin tone, the actual trick is it will actually lessen the amount of foundation that you're actually having to use.
And give you more coverage as well.
Exactly. Because of the fact that you have different powders, these are just two to kind of name. This one is actually one of the Fenty powders. This one is the color Cashew. And this one is actually by Morphe.
And this one is the Brightening Pink Bacon Set Powder. Now, this is a good dupe for the Patrick Star Christmas setting powder with MAC. This is a good dupe for that one. I like it because it has like a pink undertone to it, and it doesn't have flashback. So me personally, I like to use it for those clients, especially my lighter tone clients. I use it to set underneath the eye and things like that, and I like to set my base for my eyeshadows with it.
Mm-hmm. And for your deeper complexion sisters, or somebody that's around my complexion as well, because I am actually one of those ranges that's actually very hard to match. A lot of you guys probably understand that. People think that a deeper complexion, that someone in my complexion has an easier time finding foundation.
It's the opposite.
I actually don't.
It's the opposite.
Our undertone is actually slept on the most because it's such a weird one. I'm not that brown. I'm not that bright either. I'm kind of like a caramel complexion, so it's really hard to find stuff. But when you find a good powder that can actually balance everything out, just like Monze was saying, you can actually use a powder. And because of the fact that that powder has a tone to it, like a brownish tone or a little bit of a reddish tone to it, when you put your foundation on, you're actually going to use a lot less foundation. And that's also what makes it last longer throughout the day, because you have less product on. I always tell girls that a lot of times less is more, but I know in the world that we live in now, the Instagram makeup has become, Instagram makeup has become a thing. I know that I've been known to have my looks on Instagram as well, and that's just because it's fun. It is fun and creative to do, and it is. But as you guys can see, I have on a very minimal, simple beat, and this is typically me, and 9 times out of 10, or without any makeup on.
And keep in mind with this Instagram makeup, y'all need to realize y'all trying to do this Instagram makeup to go through your day. A lot of these people are doing it just for the sake of the video and taking it right off. They're not wearing it all day. So yeah, it looks really good for the 1 minute or 30 seconds you're watching it. But keep in mind, once that camera start rolling, they taking it off. Just saying.
Baby, because who ain't finna walk around with a pound of cake on their face all day?
Yeah. They be walking around $400 worth of makeup on. That's not necessary. It's not necessary.
I'm not gonna lie, I did do about $150 for a day.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. It got you through though.
It got you through. I can't deny it. I love my makeup. I'm a makeup junkie. I'm a little bit of a makeup whore. I'm not gonna lie about that. That's the reason why I have the Fenty. But here's the thing. I am also a El Cheapo. I like to say El Cheapo nigga, because I actually like to do a beat on a budget.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I have actually taught in makeup classes that I've taught in the past, that a lot of times people want a fabulous beat, but they don't have the price point. And I tell people, you don't have to break the bank in order to have a flawless face. It's all about your application, the products you're using, and again, it goes into knowing your undertone, knowing what type of skin type you have, and also I tell this to people all the time, I cannot stress this enough. People wonder how I have such like even tone skin as far as like my foundation and far as not having that much texture on the skin. I tell people foundation and makeup is not meant to cover what's there, it's meant to enhance.
Exactly.
And so that's the beauty of it. You're only really enhancing what's already there. It's not really meant to cover everything. So that's why you're not supposed to use so much.
Exactly.
But if you don't fix the problems, then you're gonna always feel like you have to have makeup on. I am not one of those girls, baby. If I need to go to Walmart at 12 o'clock at night, I'm not putting on full face to go.
Yeah.
It ain't happening.
And that's a good point. That's why what you said, when it comes to enhancing, that's how you need to know your color correction, which goes back to knowing your color wheel. If you have dark spots, like your dark brown stuff like that, that you're gonna need an orange base color corrector for that. If you have, if you're more lighter, people like my color and lighter, we get a lot of redness. You want to combat that with a green. You don't want to just go, or all this fails. A lot of people, they might not have. They go in with something your shade. It can still work. But you're gonna wanna eventually work your way up into getting those correctors that are gonna combat, the colors your blemishes are pulling. That way, when you go ahead and apply your foundation, it'll give you an even canvas of color. So
that is true. I cannot tell you how many times enough I have had somebody ask me, why does my face still look like it don't match my body? It hurts my feelings.
Okay.
I've been trying not to be.
You don't have to be strong by yourself. You don't have to. It's okay.
Okay.
It's all right.
But it's all right.
Just need a moment.
It's okay. It's all right. They understand. It's all right.
It's hard out there.
But here's the thing. There's more to come.
It is.
It is. And you guys know that you can stay tuned. So basically in the future, if you guys have any comments, any type of topics that you guys want to hear us talk about.
anything of that nature, you know, any makeup questions, any questions that you're having as far as your own makeup routine, anything that you may want to know, you can ask us. You can comment, you can, you know, message in, tweet in, smoke signal, whatever you need to do. We got you. We are here for you. You know, whatever you need.
Sorry. But also as well, you guys, do not forget we have something special, a great surprise. Shout out to Samara Tisby. You are our winner for November. So you are going to be getting a glam makeover by the lady.
And the master.
So stay tuned, you guys. And of course, make sure you send in your people that you want to get selected that you think deserve that actual makeover. We're doing this because everybody deserves to feel beautiful and everybody deserves to own it.
Exactly.
So I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes, indeed. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And keep tuning in, guys, because we are really enjoying having a great time with y'all. And we want to keep this party going. So definitely